And I am also recording, so just so everyone knows, it is Tuesday, the 28th of, bye babe, of what is this month? March. Goodness, I was just looking at the April calendar. And welcome to the call. We are going to talk tonight on cold market and your warm market and just how to communicate with those folks. I'm going to kick things off and just start talking about the warm market portion, and Kelly's going to take it from me and talk about the cold market because she is doing so well with, she started things with her blog that kind of merged her world before the wine business into now, and she's kind of integrated different platforms from her previous businesses or business into now. And so her specialty has really been great with cold market and also integrating the warm market. So she'll take it from there. But first, I'm going to start with the warm market. So if you guys have any questions at any point in time, just let me know. There's a cool little feature on here. If you click the chat button, you can actually raise your hand, and then it'll alert me that you have a question, or just unmute yourself. In 1 second, my dog is crying, so let me open the door. Sorry. Come on. Sorry, guys. He's an Aussie, and he will continue whining until I let him in the room. Okay, so warm market. Okay, so I think that the warm market's a tricky one to start off with because we all have the people in our lives that are part of, our family, our friends. They're in our social media groups that, whatever platform you use that, you've, built a relationship with. And, they're ones that you may know they like wine, so you may be more comfortable to go talk to them about wine. But, they may just be a supporter of yours because they're your parents or they're your good friend. And so it might be less intimidating for you to go talk to them, but it also could be more because you don't want to upset them, or you don't want to put that relationship in jeopardy. So what I want to suggest for the warm market, so I wanted to start with an example of what happened with me with this wine opportunity and how I kind of just started talking to people about it. My story is a little interesting. I actually started, 4 years ago, I think it was, with Beachbody. I know you've probably heard a lot of people in the wine business now are in this previous Beachbody coaches, or, just in other MLMs prior to joining this company, or are still a part of another company. And when I decided to kind of transition out of Beachbody, I had people that I had already talked to in my warm market, if you will, about Beachbody. And so I had the predicament of, do I approach them again about another opportunity, or do I just let it go? And then that just eliminates a chunk of people. So, I had a lot of decisions to make. But what I had to decide is, and Kelly and I have talked about this quite a bit. Hey, Tabitha. Because, Kelly actually had not done a network marketing business before. So, this was kind of a new platform for her. And, I was super intimidated on the front of, I had all these people in my warm market that I'd already probably talked to about Beachbody. And then she had this brand that she had built. And so her warm market was already working towards, her brand that she'd already built, but it already had the common denominator of wine in there. So she had that opportunity there as well. So if you've been building a brand and you've talked about wine, don't be scared to necessarily go talk to people about wine in your warm markets, because that's not going to be way out of the norm of what your followers are used to seeing of your brand. So with my story, I actually had this group of people that knew that I was a Beachbody coach. So I had to share the breakup story basically. in a nutshell, I kept it really brief, but what I did was I kind of like just didn't even, when I got my feet wet with it, I just kind of stopped mentioning the fact I wasn't with Beachbody anymore. I just like led with wine, which is what we need to be doing in the first place. So people are going to sense if you're scared. People are going to sense if you actually know what you're talking about. So that's one of our points tonight, is to make sure you're doing your homework and know about the company, because with our warm markets especially, if we start talking to people and we're fumbling all over our words and we're like, don't really even know really what the product is. I mean, yes, it's wine, but if you're not like, if you don't know how many bottles come in the box, or, you know, that kind of stuff, or if you don't know that you get red and white if you choose, or you can get all red or all white, you know, if you don't know little fun facts like that, then it's going to be even harder. And those people that are closest to you in that warm market are going to probably be a little bit more critical of you, and are probably, because they know you well enough, that they're probably going to shoot it to you straight. So you have to be prepared. But when I actually started, what I did with my warm market, you guys, I'm just going to, you know, get to it. I made a list of the people that I knew for a fact liked wine in my warm market. Okay. So I knew that, for instance, my friend Megan and her dad Barry, which they're part of our team, I knew that they liked wine, and I knew that Kelly liked wine because like I said before, that's part of her brand. Cheers. I mean, for Pete's sake, during the election, she wrote "Vote for Vino." I mean, come on, like she had a shirt that said that. She has a shirt, and I might steal it from her. It probably won't fit me, but, but I mean, so pay attention to that. People in your warm market are giving you cues all the time that they like wine. They may not be blasting it on Facebook or blasting it on social media, but pay attention to those cues and write them down, put them on your list, and then just drop them a line, you know, just be like, for instance, with Kelly, I was like, I loved your I mean, that's one reason I talked to her. I was nervous as all get out to talk to her. She was technically in my warm market because we've been friends for many years. But, you know, I knew that she had that in her brand, so I could lead with that. So come from a genuine place. So when I was talking to Megan and her dad, I literally had just got done playing volleyball for our church league volleyball. I came home, I was all sweaty and gross, and I was like, hey, can you guys, they said, now's a good time to talk. Do you want to just FaceTime about what it is you had mentioned about wine? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so all I had to do was, I mean, I didn't get them on a call. I mean, this was back in October. I literally just FaceTimed with them, and I said, so there's this new wine club, you know, and I gave them the details that I knew. I was brand spanking new at this. And again, I was transitioning from Beachbody. So I was like fitness, nutrition. I knew everything about Shakeology, all that kind of stuff. And there are people in your life, you may be a part of another company as well, that you know all the information on. You need to get to that point with this company, with direct sellers, because it's important to have those pieces of information, but don't stress yourself out. Again, I was all gross and stuff from volleyball. I was just like, I told them the facts that I knew, and they were like, okay, like ground level, I want in, like that type of stuff. Sometimes it's not that easy, but if people love you and they know you and you are being authentic and being yourself, and you are genuinely showing them that this opportunity is something that is huge, then that's going to resonate through your words. It's going to your confidence. Whether or not you are all like, you know, dressed to the nines and you look perfect, or if you are sweaty and gross from just working out or whatever, you know, share the opportunity. Share it with those that you know love wine. And I'll tell you what, if I wouldn't have had guts to go talk to Kelly, you guys would all, I mean, like this would, we all wouldn't be here. My group wouldn't be here. I know Megan and her dad and their downline wouldn't be here. So, you know, you don't know what one conversation with someone in your warm market is going to take, how it's going to take off. So make that list. Look at those cues that people are giving you on social media, family reunions, whatever it is, you know, people from college. I mean, don't be embarrassed.
Also notice who likes your wine posts.
Yes, like, and if it's the same people over and over and over that are liking your stuff, you need to be reaching out to them. I know it can get a little daunting to have to actually, like, if you have a cool post, if it going through and messaging every single person every time that you have a cool wine post that, you know, they like or comment, that's going to drive. And then it's also going to make it look that you have like tons of time on your hands, which you guys, we all don't. So, but yes, reach out to those people that are in your warm market that are liking and commenting on your stuff, because they're taking the time to comment. Even if it leads nowhere, you can always ask for a referral. Okay. There might be people, my dad, for instance, my dad does not even drink, and he's definitely in my warm market, but he saw the financial benefit of this company. And he's a nuclear engineer. So he knows a bunch of other engineers that drink a lot of wine, apparently. I didn't know that. So you don't know until you ask. So like, just don't be scared on that front, because what's the worst they're going to tell you is no. Then you can ask for a referral. Okay. And if anything, you get to reconnect with someone that you haven't talked to in your warm market for a little while. So that's kind of just my advice to kick things off, because I know that your warm market, especially if you've been a part of another MLM before, can be super, super intimidating. So follow the scripts is my next point, and that's the last thing I'm going to mention because I want to pass this over to Kelly. But follow the scripts that are given to you. Make them your own words. I mean, switch things up a little bit, but you know, we have that as from our training last week, the winematebrigade.com. Go there. The training is there. The recorded calls and things are there, but most importantly too, the scripts. So there's awesome scripts. I actually think that there's, you know, scripts coming out every once in a while, and they're on the Wine Warrior page. We carry them over to our page. So if there's a situation that you are having, there's a conversation you're having with someone in your warm market and you're stuck. You guys, I messaged Kelly 3 times today because I had a couple people that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. And I've been doing this for a long time. So don't get scared. Just message one of us. Message somebody on our team. Okay. So like Andrea's doing amazing, like with marketing, with her posts, with being plugged in and just doing some really awesome, cool things with the different boomerang videos and things. And she's going to help us do an awesome team video. I hope you guys are going to post that by Friday. Just a little reminder. She's putting together an awesome marketing video for our team, specifically for the Winemates Brigade. So get that information to her. That's another cool marketing tool that will be really attractive to your warm market, because that's going to show them, wow, they're doing something professional. Like, this is like a really cool thing. She's not just getting slammered on wine all the time. Like, because that's what some people might be thinking. I mean, it might be like that. Okay, sometimes it's true. But, you are professionals and you're doing something extremely professional and amazing right now. So when we are doing these cool little outlets for you for marketing, grab onto those things. So make sure you get in touch with Andrea. But anyways, like, message somebody that you see is doing awesome things in our team and in the Wine Warrior team page and the team MVP. Don't be scared to ask for resources to help connect with that warm market, because there's definitely a way to communicate to them. So Kelly, go ahead and if you're ready, go ahead and start talking about some cold market awesomeness.
So one more thing just to add on to warm market, if you want to like soften the blow of just like coming straight at them, one tactic that like I've been using, and that was actually like Ray Higdon. I don't know if any of you guys tuned into his training. If you didn't, I definitely suggest that you go back and like relook at that. But one thing that he uses a lot is saying like, I don't know if you're even open to this, which like automatically gives them an out if they're not. So it's not like, you know, and it also makes it be like, well, like it's not a big deal, but this is what I'm doing now. So say you're talking to somebody who's been liking your Facebook post and say, hey, thank you so much for liking all my Facebook posts. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you're even open to this, but I know that you love wine, and I was just wondering if you'd be open to hearing a little bit more about a side project I've been working on. It involves wine, especially if it, okay, like I'm going off on a tangent, but like if you'd be interested in working on a side project that I'm working on, you know, if it doesn't interfere and even complements what you're already doing, it involves wine. And, you know, you can just go from there. And then, you know, if they're like, yeah, I'd love to, you know, listen to them, be like, okay, well, I'm sure you've noticed that I've been posting a lot about wine lately. If I sent you a quick video that explained, all of this, would you watch it? Yes. Okay, great. When do you think you'll be able to watch it by? And then you just basically set up, if they say, well, I'll be able to watch it by tomorrow. Okay, so if I call you tomorrow at 7 p.m., you'll have watched it? Yes. Okay, great. What's your phone number? So I can, if you don't know their phone number, then say, okay, I'm going to call you at 7 p.m. Here's the video. Don't send them the video until you confirm a time when they're going to watch it. Like, just don't do it, because they're never going to get back to you. Well, unless they're really excited, and then they will. But it's always better for you to hold out on sending them information until you can confirm a time to follow up with them. And the same goes obviously for cold market. So for me, for cold market, I use Facebook a lot. I did a training on Facebook ads a while back, which you guys are welcome to check out. I think it's at least on the YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure it's also on winematebrigade.com. I know that we plug this every week, but if you guys have not been on winematebrigade.com, all the scripts are on there. I made graphics that are on there. There's trainings that are on there. There's resources, go there. But so I get a lot of traction from Facebook ads, Instagram, some tastings, and then I post in yard sale groups too, or, buy, sell, trade groups. So you can post in any of those. And there's lots of other ways. Even if you're out at a restaurant and you're talking to your waitress about wine, there's no reason why you can't say, hey, would you be interested in a side project involving wine? You seem like a really sharp person. Ray Higdon, again, talks about his waitress script. And if they say yes, just be like, okay, what's your phone number? And I'll give you all the details. So anyways, once you start talking to somebody and start a conversation with a cold market person, you have to remember that you are a problem solver. You're not hard selling anyone. This isn't a hard sale. You don't need to hard sell people. If you don't write anything else down from tonight, I need you to write this down, and I need you to write it down right now. Okay. I solve problems and help people attain their desires. I'm going to repeat it again. I solve problems and help people attain their desires. So the first thing that you need to do once you talk to somebody that is warm or cold market, after you say hi, I hear you're a wine lover, blah, blah, blah. Then the next question you need to ask them, well, why are you interested in a side project? Why are you interested in something like this? Because then they're like, well, because, I need some extra money to pay for this, that, or the other thing. So their wheels are already starting to turn of yeah, I could use some extra money. And then you have to find out, have you tried an at-home business before? And from here, it kind of branches out. If they have tried an at-home business before, and they say, yeah, I tried this, that, or the other thing, and it didn't work, then you can say to them, well, why do you feel like it didn't work out? And then they say, well, I didn't have the right training, or the market was oversaturated, blah, blah, blah. From that point, you can say, say they say, there were just so many people. I was in Beachbody, and there was a Beachbody coach every 5 minutes. It seems like if you had the right opportunity, you would really thrive in this network marketing environment because you have this entrepreneurial spirit. Or if they haven't tried an at-home business before, say, great, you haven't picked up any bad habits. You're completely coachable. That's awesome. Those are the type of people that I'm looking for. And, another thing to say, if they, if they say that they've done an at-home business, it didn't work out or whatever, you can say something like, if I had a magic wand and give you anything you want in a home-based business, what would it look like? And then they'll give you what their selling points are at that point. And then, you can say, well, how serious are you about solving your problems and, changing the trajectory of your life, or, however you want to say that so it sounds like you. And if they're like, oh my gosh, my life sucks so much, I hate everything, or, I could really use some extra income, whatever. At that point, just say, so if I sent you a 15-minute video to explain what we're doing here, would you watch it? Yes. Okay, well, when are you going to have time to watch it by? I can watch it, tomorrow. okay, so if I call you on Wednesday morning, you'll have had time to watch this video? Yes. Okay, what's your phone number? I'm going to put you in my calendar now. Does 10 or 11 a.m. work? You know, and then, you know, once they do that, you know, you're not really giving them options. Like, you're just basically running through saying, yeah, you know what, like, my time is worth money. And the other thing that, like, so Casey, number one, welcome to Casey. She was my neighbor down at Fort Benning, and she has been, like, literally killing it. She has kept Lauren and I so busy this week with 3-way calls. It's been, like, so awesome. But one thing that I've been telling her is, if somebody doesn't answer and, you know, they contact you again in like 15, 20 minutes, like, don't get on the phone with them. Like, if they call you, if they're like, oh, sorry, I forgot, say, okay, well, I'm actually on another call right now. We need to reschedule. Because it puts you, like, I know we talk about posture a lot, but this is your business. If you start treating it like a business, other people will start treating it like a business. I used to, like, if people didn't answer, like, I used to, like, take them whenever, or if somebody, and sometimes, like, if I'm not busy and somebody's like, hey, we jump on the phone right now and talk about it? I will. But for the most part, like, I try to make it, I mean, I am busy, but I try to make it seem like I'm busier than I am. But the first thing that, like, you need to do with warm market or cold market is, like, start a conversation with them and then lead into the wine. I kind of gave you some ideas of what to do once you get to the wine part, but, you know, I can tell you most of my conversations with people go, like, that are cold market, that have, you know, commented on something like, hey, so, you know, obviously you, like, want wine like I do. And then I usually say something sarcastic, like, you know, I'm not really friends with anybody that doesn't like wine. I think they're aliens, or, you know, something like that. And then, you know, I say, so what is, like, where do you live? What do you do for a living? Whatever. And then say, hey, so, you know, why is it that you're interested in this? And then, you know, go through the script from there, but, like, get some information. And then I know I posted this the other day, but people are not going to necessarily sign up with you, like, the first time that you talk to them. Lauren was lucky with me because I just love wine so much that I was just like, okay, let's do this. But, you know, like, most other businesses and anybody that's been in any sort of sales, like, you know that you need to get in front of somebody several times before they trust you enough to believe in you, and to believe in what you're selling. So, you know, after the initial, you know, talk to them, send them the video, get on the phone with them, answer any questions, put them in the WineMate Virtual Wine Wednesday. I really, really, really highly discourage you guys putting anybody in that group that you haven't spoken with on the phone, because if they get all of that information all at once, they're going to feel like they know everything to make their decision. So, you know, I know that for some people you're busy, it's hard to get people on the phone, but really, like, that should be like third or fourth touch at that point. And then after that, your next touch should be sending them, like, an article or a picture or something completely unrelated to what we're doing here, just to, like, let them know, like, probably your next 2 touches should have nothing to do with the wine business and should be completely geared towards building a relationship with them. The more you start caring about your prospects, your downline, whoever, the quicker your business is going to grow. I was really, really excited my first month, and I just, like, word vomited over everybody that I talked to, and I made $0. And then I started caring more about, you know, what people were saying to me. I started using the scripts. I started, you know, doing all these things. And, like, right now, I think I'm up to either 27 or 28 personally sponsored, you know, premium wine lovers. So, like, if you have been involved with this in a month and, like, you totally sucked, if you've been involved in this, you know, for a long time, like, don't seem too eager. Like I said in the beginning, you are a problem solver and you are helping people attain their desires. You are not attaining your desires. You are helping other people. Once you start caring more about everybody else, you are going to succeed. I promise you. Like, it goes hand in hand. You know, when they always say like teamwork makes the dream work, like it really does. You know, once you start caring about yourself less, and this is, I mean, guys, this is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Like it talks about like dying to oneself to serve other people. Once you start serving other people, then, you know, that's when abundance flows. And I'm not preaching some prosperity gospel. I'm not saying that once you start serving other people that like gold is going to rain down on your house. I'm just saying that, you know, people can sense authenticity. And that's something that Lauren mentioned. Like if you're being authentic, you know, if you're really, you know, concerned about, hey, like I want to help you. What can I do to help you? I have people that I've approached about this business, and it's just like, it's not a good time for them. It's not going to work, but that doesn't mean that I stop helping them. Like they ask me for, you know, advice about jobs, about this, about that, the other thing. And I say that to people when I get on the phone with them. I say like, regardless of whether or not this is the opportunity for you, I'm here to help you with whatever it is that you need. I'm not going to give away all of like the milk for free, but like, you know, if they, like, I have a friend that, you know, just wants to get into the hospitality industry. I spent 5 years in the hospitality industry, and she's asking me, well, how did you get in? Blah, blah, blah. And of course I'm going to give her that information. And you know what, when she like realizes that like, you know, salaries suck, she's going to come back and she's going to be like, okay, tell me about this wine thing now. But you know, in the meantime, she knows that I'm actually, you know, concerned about her best interest and not just about making $125 or $250 off of her. So that's kind of like my big spiel. You guys have all probably, if you haven't already, heard about like feel, felt, found. You know, if you're getting objections like it's too expensive, you know, I felt the same way. But, you know, what I found is that a lot of people are willing to pay that much money for good quality wine, or like feel, felt. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found is that people who love wine are willing to, you know, spend a little bit more money to get great wine than walking around the liquor store for 5 hours and bringing home the same crappy bottle of wine. Or, you know, I don't think that my network is big enough. You know what? Like I understand how you feel. I actually felt the same way. But what I found is that more people in your network like wine than you would think, or that your network is bigger than you think, or whatever. Like, however you want to spin it. You know, always like when people give you objections, they're not saying no. They're just they're just afraid. So like you need to do things to make them feel like, you know, you were afraid too. Like I tell people all the time, I'm the most skeptical person in the entire world. When Lauren, like I didn't even want to message Lauren back when she was like, hey Kelly, how are you? I was like, she's going to ask me about Beachbody. Like I didn't even want to respond. And I love you, Lauren, but I didn't. And, you know, and then she was like, well, I actually wanted to talk to you about a wine club. And I still was like super skeptical. Like, even on the phone, I was like, I'll listen to Lauren because I respect her and I like her. And like, you know, at the very least, like I'll just sign up as a customer, you know, to support her, whatever. And then like I got on the phone and then I was like, holy crap, this is actually awesome. Like, this isn't some like stupid thing. And that's the way that like you need to feel. Like if you have somebody like me who like literally has, it's so funny because the week before Lauren approached me about this, I posted like this status on Facebook about like how people needed to stop messaging me about their stupid MLMs, blah, blah, blah. And I posted it. And then I deleted it like 2 minutes later because I was like, I don't want to upset any of my friends that do this because I have a lot of people that I love that do this. And then I was like, I'm going to delete it because that was like hateful and mean and spiteful. And I deleted it. And I guarantee that if I had left that up, Lauren probably would not have messaged me.
Maybe she would have. But you wore the Vote for Vino shirt, so you're.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like prime target. But that's kind of like my whole spiel. Do you guys have like any questions or anything? I know we still have like a few more minutes before Zoom kicks us off, but do you guys have any questions or anything about anything.
Let's hear Constance, sorry. I just was going to if you guys have an example of a warm or cold market experience that worked for you or didn't work, give us that example, and that way we can kind of use that as well. But Constance.
Yeah. Well, I have both actually. My history, I've only sold for 2 other companies, and the first time it was just, how can I make money? How can I make money? You know, second time, and I'm still involved with this company. It's not Beachbody, but it is a health and wellness company. The second time it was more about relationships, and I learned to build relationships with people, even if it's cold marketing. I mean, even if it's the cold market, you can still, you know, on Facebook, for instance, if you reached out to someone, or if somebody reached out to you and you quickly went on their page and saw something, you know, oh, we'll strike up a conversation. How long have you been doing this? Or, you know, how long have you been living here? Or, you know, whatever. And so I'm learning to be better at that. And one thing I did recently was post in an entrepreneur group for a town over from where I live. And I said, hey, everyone, I have 2 questions for you. Do you love wine, and do you like the idea of earning a residual income? If so, I am part of a wine club that pays you weekly to enjoy it and share the club with friends and family. Message me and I would love to connect with more details. And so I got several responses from that. And warm marketing, I've just been posting nothing about the name of the company on my personal page, but just
nothing about
building
the name, guys.
Building mystery around it, just like random posts.
You're piquing people's interest. It's the
piquing people's, right. And the responses are ridiculous. So I've not added anybody to my team, but I have like 20 leads. I'm
telling
ridiculous.
you, I didn't add anybody to my team for like over a month. But I was having conversations. Tabitha was one of the first people that I talked with, and it took her until like almost January to join. Like, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Tabitha. She just had a baby, and she's killing it with her hilarious.
Yeah, and so is Gina, who I don't think is on here because she just had a baby.
Yes.
But,
oh crap, we have less than a minute. Okay, hey guys, Constance, thank you so much for that tidbit. If you wouldn't mind copying and pasting that blurb that you just said, if you could put that on the team page just for an extra script, that's awesome. Craig, great suggestions, and love you guys. Kelly, thank you so much for helping with the scripts or the warm and cold market tonight. And keep up the good work, you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Hey, get your downlines on these calls, okay? Do that
for real, guys.
All right.
Okay,
love
bye.